I'm going to go posts, add new. Right, so we're going to create a new post, which is our product, and let's go the okay. I will capitalize these. It wasn't in the actual Amazon, these weren't capital letters, but I'm going to put capital. Okay, so this is your title of your post, and this is probably best just to put the title of the barbecue. And I don't want to get into too much detail again because I don't want to make it sound overly complicated, but when you get into this you can think about this more. There are certain words, remember when we look quickly in the Google keyword planner and identified keywords such as gas barbecue, and there was also 4-burner in there if I remember right. So it's, if you can, it's quite nice to fit some of these keywords in your titles. But anyway, we won't get bogged down in that, and now we're going to write our product. So I'm going to just copy and paste what I've written here. Control C to copy that, and then Control V to paste it in here. And there are two windows here. There's a visual, and this is basically kind of comparable to how it looks on a website, and there's also a text-based one, which is more of the code. So see in the visual we've got these bullet points here, but if you look at the text, it's actually showing you the code that creates these bullet points. And I prefer personally working in this text one and putting in this little bit short, these codes here, but you may be better off in the other one, depending on which one's best for you. We'll work in this visual view for now, but if you get more comfortable later on, you could work in this because you can style things a bit more personally in this area, but we'll do visual for now. So I want this price to be bold because I want people to see it, so I just highlight it and I click this B button for bold. There you go, it's gone bold. And we've got our 3 areas, and then we've got key features. Actually, I want this to be a heading. So this is our title up here, but this also acts as heading 1. As you know, when you lay things out, you have different headings or subheadings. So this is the main heading here. So the next one is heading number 2, and I'm going to make this key features heading number 2. So I'm going to, this expands these options here, and then under here, see it's normal paragraph for now, but I'm going to choose a heading 2, and I have my sort of different features here. Okay, and then I want to get rid of that bullet point there. This technical information can also be a heading 2, and it's highlighted all of this. And as I was saying before, it's sometimes easier to do things in this text editor, because if we go in now, you see it's put the heading 2 brackets around all of it. So if I was doing this in here, I would just go Control X to remove that heading 2 and say no, I just want it around this technical information. Now if we go back, you see it's done right. So we have this, and I want to put, I'm going to put a space there, and I want to put bullet points on here too, so I'll put a bullet there. Oops. Put a bullet here, and then just like in Word, I'm going to push delete to move that line up, then enter to move it down, and it puts a bullet point in. So this is just like using Microsoft Word basically, or whatever you're used to doing. So I'll show you again, if I do heading 2 for this extra details as well, it's going to highlight it all. So I'll Control Z to undo that. But if I put a space in, it should work all right, which it has, and then I can delete through there. Okay, so then I've got what customers say about this, and then these are all in italic, because it's copied the styling I did in the Word, so that's good. And I'm just going to put a quote here. Has that done anything? A quote here. I can't see that's actually doing something, but palette these and put quote. I'm not sure if that's actually done it, but we'll see. Anyway, so here's our text in there. We can either save that as draft, or we can publish it. We're not ready to publish it yet, so I'm going to click Save Draft for now. So again, just like Microsoft Word or whatever your software you use for Word documents, it's just saved a copy of this now. We can push preview to see what this looks like. And there we go. You see, it's put the title, it's got the price, but it's also put these, it's called sort of metadata here. It's basically the person that's published it, which is me, and then a date. We probably want to get rid of that, but we'll get rid of that later. We won't worry about that now. It's got the price, bit of information, key features, technical information, extra details. And you'll see it's not styled grey. Oh, this is a quote box that's put around these, so that's the way it does quotes. You know, I'm quite happy with that. We'll leave that. But I want to put a space there, and there's too big a space there, and I need to get rid of that. And actually, I want to put bullet points on here as well, which we haven't done. So there's too big a space there. Delete that. And it's got rid of that heading. So there we go. And here, I want to put bullet points. And delete and enter, delete and enter, delete and enter, delete and enter. I want to put a space. It doesn't want to be bullet there, space. I'm also going to put my own quotes on there just to make it even more obvious that these are quotes. Okay, I'm going to save a draft again. And preview it. There's a really big gap there now. See, the formatting is a bit funny, and this is what happens sometimes when you do it in this visual window. If you do it in the text window, you can control things a lot nicer, but I'll keep it simple. Now, okay, that looks better. Click preview again to refresh this. Okay, well, I'm happy with that. So there's our quote, what the customer says, extra details. Yep. And you see there's someone going to reply, because it's almost like this is a blogging platform, so people can, you know, leave replies or comments on blogs, but we don't want that, so we'll turn that off. But we'll do that later again as well when we got the options to turn these off. And what we're ready for now is some images. So what I want to do is I want to put a nice image here at the top, and then I may put another image. So I might have one or two images. In fact, no, actually, we'll just put one image for now. I'll decide which one in a minute. And what I did is, again, I'll show you. I created 3 folders on my computer for each of the different barbecues, and I created a product text document, and then also this review text document. In each of these, I've got 2 images, so I'll decide which one I'm going to use in the post in a minute. And I've reduced the width to 450 pixels just to reduce the file size a bit and keep things consistent. And I'll show you what I did here. So in this, so you see with this one, it is 1000 by 1000 pixels wide in dimensions, and the size of this image is 59.3 kilobytes, which isn't enormous, but it's better to get that file size as low as possible. And we don't need the dimensions to be that big on the screen. So if I go back to this page, probably, I'm not sure exactly what it is, but this width here is probably no more than 800 pixels. I'm not sure what it is exactly, but I want quite a big image, maybe to come probably not quite half, but nearly half. So I probably want I might just want a 350 pixel or maybe 400 wide pixel image here. So what I'll do is I'll open my image, and again, using the software we used before, I'm going to edit it in GIMP. So what I'm going to do first, I'm going to get rid of all this white space at the top and bottom because we don't need that. So I'm going to, using this rectangular select tool again, I'm going to draw a rectangle quite close to the bottom. And when you've drawn it, when you hover in the middle, you get this move icon, so I can click and I can move this box around, which is what I did before, editing the main header image. But if you hover over the side, you see highlights, and that lets you drag the box in. So I'm going to just drag this in to close. And it doesn't matter if it goes off the edges, because if I push enter now, it just selects around the image. So I'm going to go image, I'm going to go crop to selection, gets rid of that. Now I'm going to go image, scale image, and these are the dimensions at the moment. So I'm going to say I only want it 400 wide, and it's in pixels here. If I click down here, it automatically reduces this in the right ratio because we've got them locked. So I'm going to go scale. So there we go. So I'm going to go file, export. I'm going to keep the name the same, export. It's going to say, do you want to replace that? I do. And then the quality level, I'm going to set to 70 because I want to reduce this file size as much as possible, but I don't want to lose a good looking image, and 70 is okay in this case. Okay. Discard changes. So now remember, this one was 1000 by 1000, but now I refresh that because it's still using the old one. So now it's 400 by 330, and the size is only 10 kilobytes. I think it was 50 something last time. And if I open it, you see it's still a decent image. And I've also got this image here, and actually looking at the two, so if I go right, this one's probably better, isn't it, because it shows off the different features. It's got the side burner and these main burners here. So I'm just going to quickly do this in GIMP as well. Scale image, and I want it 400 wide. Scale, export. And when you do this a few times, you'll get quick at it like this. 70, export. Alright, so there we go. So I want to put this image into my post, and I can just drag it straight in, or I can say add media. I normally use the add media feature because I normally do it to this window, this screen here, which has the code in rather than the visual. But with the visual you can just drag in, so we'll try that now. So I'll select this, I'll drag it into the window, and it loads it up. So these are images we had before, and then here's another image. Right, so this time we'll add some information here. So I'm going to get rid of that. So it's the title, and this is useful because it helps Google search engines see what kind of image it is on your website, because it's an image, and Google looks at the words and the text and the descriptions rather than the actual visual in your website, so it knows this is this barbecue. But also in the image search results in Google itself, this is helpful if people do search for it, and you might have a chance of showing up. And I'm going to copy this and I'm going to paste it into the alt text and the description. Okay, and I'm not going to go into huge details why, but it's a good idea to do this. And basically the alt text is, if for whatever reason the image doesn't load up on your site, this text will show instead. So it's good to have something that represents what the image is. So now we have these options here. Alignment. Now I want mine to align to the left, so clicking it and the text wrap around it. So go left. You could have it to the right or center, but I want mine to the left. And when I click on it, link to what I want to do. So by default it says media file, but I don't want that. We want it to go to an external URL because I want this to go to Amazon in the end of the day. So I'm going to click custom URL. Okay, and then this is a link that will go through to Amazon, and we haven't got our special tracking code yet. So I'm just going to make it go to the actual Amazon page, and then I'll replace this link with a real tracking code later. So I'm going to open up Amazon, and we'll search for barbecue. And it's this one here. Right, so I'm just going to copy this link, Control C, paste it in here. Finally, we have the size, and we want the full size image because we've already scaled it down to the right size. And insert into post, and there it goes, plonked it there. So you can see that this text is wrapping around it, and we probably want these key features to be below it. So I'm just going to save this draft, and we'll see what it definitely looks like, because it may not look exactly the same as this. So I'm going to preview it, and it doesn't. In fact, it looks good. So now we have the name, price, and we have the image. Remember, if I click on the image, it's going to open up in Amazon. And we've got a text, got our key features, got customer say. And I also want more Amazon links in here, but when we add the Amazon real tracking links, we'll edit this later. But for now, that is good enough.